And yes, it's most cats relax when they get the nice warm water on them. And the technique that I use is very calming, and they don't hear the water, they don't see the water, they just feel the water. So that initial, this is what is going to happen here, kiddo, is not so scary for them. But I love it when the owners look at that first rinse and they look down in the tub and their mouth just, they can't believe what was on their cat.
Yeah.
And it's an educational process, and in the United States it's becoming more and more accepted and understood and commonplace that yes, your cat needs a bath.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crazy People. I am Alexis Ward. I'm the founder of the Cat Pharm. We sell cannabis products for pets and people, and we like to talk to cat people around here. So I want to welcome my new favorite person, Lynda Eubanks. Hey, Lynda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining me today for this episode. Let's do a little introduction. Tell me about your business, Bella Mio Grooming, and being a trained cat groomer in the state of Texas.
Yes. Bella Mio Cat Grooming. Mio is around here somewhere, but my heart cat of the last 12 years, Mio was a Siberian rescue, and the Bella Mio, my sister is actually in advertising, and she helped me with the logo and the naming and everything. But I said it's got to have Mio's name in it somewhere. I'm a retired teacher. I was in the classroom for 35 years. And you can see by the gray hair, I got my kids through COVID, and I was a high school band director, actually, so used to those long hours and over committing myself. And in my last couple of years of teaching, I besides my love of cats that I've always had, I found a new activity that kind of took my mind away from the classroom and all of the stresses and everything. And that was going to cat shows. I've always loved ragdoll cats. And I have a good friend in Ann Paul, who is one of the top ragdoll breeders in the country, and she lives close by. And I got my very first ragdoll cat, Maddie, and she convinced me to check out cat shows. Well, cat shows, I only knew that there were dog shows. Well, cat shows is a big thing, and it's basically a beauty contest for cats. And getting ready for the shows, the cats need to be groomed. Every cat that goes into a show has to be bathed and meticulously groomed prior to the show, because it is a beauty contest. They do get judged on how well they are groomed. Well, long story short, I found out that I was very good at the grooming, but my cats were not very good at showing. They hated it. My loving, cuddly cats, who are being clowns right now around here. I'm sure one of them will walk across the screen at some point. Um, they're beautiful cats. They're loving, etc. But get them into the show ring, and they just didn't want to do it. And they got a little bit aggressive, or they got scared. And I kept trying and kept trying, and I got another rag doll and another rag doll. And so between rescuing and helping, with ethical breeders and making sure that I'm supporting ethical local breeders, I balanced my karma between rescuing cats and purchasing bred cats. And back to the grooming, I found that I was very good at the grooming. I was very interested in it. People started asking me, how do you get your cat to look so good? Or can you help me get my cats ready for the next show? And nature took its course. I got very interested in that. Excuse me. And I found online an organization that just really changed everything for me. And that is NCGI, National Cat Groomers Institute. Um, I started conversing with Danelle German and Lynn Paolillo, two of the top people in that organization, and found out very quickly how much I didn't know about cat grooming. I've been told that I have a way with cats, whether it's um, a cat whisperer type of a situation, where I was able to take care of friends' cats who they won't let me trim their nails. Hold my beer, I'll take care of it for you. So I've had a natural ability to be very calm with cats and be able to work with them. But picking the minds of all of the breeders and different breeds, and how do you take care of that coat, and how do you prepare that coat, and once I got affiliated with National Cat Groomers Institute, I realized how much I didn't know. So the training with that organization is incredible. Everything you could imagine is covered by experts in the field. I am through the training and going to be certified so that I can officially call myself a CFMG, a certified feline master groomer, as soon as my schedule and life allows. But I can claim that I am trained National Cat Groomer Institute. Um, it's been incredible. Instead of waiting until I was done, people started saying, let's get this up and going. So I'm finishing up my training and certification, but I've been successfully running Bella Mio Cat Grooming for it's coming in on 2 years now. And I have clients without even advertising, because finding a cat groomer is so difficult. There are wonderfully trained dog groomers who are brave enough to say, I'll do cats, but there is such a completely different level of training that is necessary for cat grooming that I encourage all dog groomers at least take some of the courses with NCGI and see a whole new world that is out there. National Cat Groomer Institute has a Find a Groomer search engine on their website, and you can go and look at a map and find where there are trained groomers. Like I'm on there, even though I'm not CFMG yet, as well as CFMGs, as well as trainers. And you will find that I believe, as of right now, I am the only National Cat Groomer Institute trained groomer in all of Houston. There was one other, and she just moved to Dallas.
Well, at least we're
So
spreading the
yeah,
wealth here, right?
finding a groomer is hard.
It
Um,
is. I think, something that I come across often, and it's not just applicable to grooming, but I think I highly recommend for people to really, I guess what I want to say is it's a common misconception that cats and dogs have the same thing or they require the same things. And I'm seeing it from the vet side, I'm seeing it from behavioral side, and I don't know, there's something out there. So listeners, like just make sure that you're not grouping them together. Yes, there's some commonalities because we're all mammals, but a dog's way of showing they need grooming versus the way a cat looks and appears is going to be slightly different. And it's something to keep in mind.
Right. Even here in Houston, I have noticed I've been here about 17 years now. I'm originally from the Cleveland, Ohio area. I've been here about 17 years, and I've seen this grow where there's at least 5 or 6 just here in the greater Houston area, cat only veterinarian offices. Memorial Cat Hospital, all cats. I could name a few, but where they're realizing that feline specific care is completely different, and they've dedicated their entire practice towards that. Same with the grooming. People are more and more starting to understand, and here's my quote for the day: cats lick themselves, they don't groom themselves. It would be like me saying, I'm going to do this. There, I washed my hair. No, I didn't wash my hair. It gets greasy, it gets gunky. It's just that people wash their dogs because dogs are out and about and running and playing, but your cat is a giant Swiffer duster in your house. And if your cat is an indoor outdoor cat, then yes, why wouldn't you consider grooming them as you do a dog. I love it when a first-time client is nervous about their cats, or they're not really sure about it. I make sure they're in the room with me and watch that first rinse. That first time I soak them up.
My cats need a bath. I hate to even say it to you out loud. I don't think I have one cat that probably has never had a bath, and I've had her for 6 or 7 years. And yes, my cats are indoor, outdoor, and I think the more I'm immune for the most part, except like if I pet my cat and I touch my eyes, I'll start to get like teary-eyed. And so I've trained myself to not do that too often. But on occasion I forget. It's usually in the morning before I have my coffee, right? And then I have to go wash my face. But when I had my son, who is only 8, he came out allergic to cats. And I was like, how is this possible? How do I have a child allergic to a cat? And so we've had to kind of change his behaviors too, because he would want to hold the kitty or put him close to, and he would break out in hives. And
Oh,
so, and he also has really, really terrible allergies. So them coming in and out, bringing all the pollen in the house. So it's definitely something I need to do. I think the last time we were together, I bought some soap from you, and I still haven't used it. One of these days, I'm really hoping my daughter will step in because she actually enjoys giving them
well,
baths.
next time I'm in the Austin area, I will come and give you a free groom. How does that sound?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I
Okay. And
appreciate
here we have our first. We have our first. We
that.
have to
First
come and
visitor?
visit everybody. Yes, we do.
Awesome. Awesome.
And this is Finn. Finn does not like to be held so much, but
Hey,
Finn
Ben.
is a seal point mitted ragdoll who is probably going to scratch my face off right now. Just
How
wanted
big is
wanted to
Ben?
walk across the keyboard. So
I
there you
had not met any ragdolls until we did that show together not too long ago, and so
go.
I had no idea that they were another very large breed of cat. So I was kind of surprised. I learned something new too, like coming, and I've been a cat person my entire life, but even being a cat person your entire life, there's so much to learn about animals
Absolutely.
and
I don't pretend to know it all. Like I said, once I started my training, I found out how much I didn't know.
That's basically what happens in these podcasts. Like every time I'm talking to somebody, I learn something new. So, I'm sure that there are other people just like me who are like, I don't want to give my cat a bath. I don't know how to do this. Like, what are some tips or techniques or, like importance of grooming? Like, what would be like some real reasons to incorporate that? How frequently should you bathe your cat? Like I'm sure you get these questions all the time, Lynda.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, my business is me coming to the house. I'm a house call cat groomer. I have aspirations down the road in my business plan that I will be adding a mobile grooming van that will be feline specific, where I will offer the choice of either coming into your home and doing the groom in the home, or bringing the cat out to the van and having the grooming done right there. Either one of those choices would eliminate the dreaded car ride for a cat, and that is what gets most cats so stressed out and upset, where you're going to groom a cat that's already been terrorized for some cats by being put in a carrier and then being put in a car and taken somewhere. And usually they're taken somewhere where there's either barking dogs or even the smell of dogs. If you're lucky enough to find a salon that maybe has a cat only day where they don't allow dogs in that day, there's still the smell of dogs in that. So my business model started off as house call. I firmly believe that cats are much more comfortable in their own environment. So I like to work in a bathroom. I do most of my grooming on the floor with a cat in my lap. I like to use the client's towel as the first wrap up after the bath because it smells like mom and dad. and I introduce everything slowly. I play relaxing cat music, 528 megahertz. That's the music teacher in me, with cats purring in the background. So it's really like a spa experience for the cats. My energy before I walk into a house has got to be in check. I have got to be very calm. Sometimes I'll sit in the car for just a couple of minutes before I start bringing my things in, just to get heart rate down, to get energy levels at a nice calm rate, because cats pick up on that. They will absolutely, if you're tense, they're going to be tense. There's enough of a problem with a stranger coming in the house with equipment and what have you, that if we were to make that any worse, then it's the chance of a successful groom, just gets lower and lower. I tell my clients the same thing. Keep yourself in check. If you're anxious about the groom, and most people are, they're worried about either doing it themselves or having somebody come in to do it, the cat's going to pick up on that. So I find that the calmer I can keep myself, the calmer the cat's going to be. I'm losing my direction here, but
No, it's
the
perfect.
the in-home experience has really proven to be successful. Although my client base is starting to build and build and build, I've found that I'm interested in just a couple days a week trying, well, what is a salon experience like if I can control the environment in a salon? And I have been lucky and blessed enough to have met Angie from the Kitty Bodega in the Houston Heights area. She just opened a new shop right on Yale and 20th that is just incredible. And she was bugging me when she was getting ready to open this new shop, are you maybe think about coming in, and what if I were to set up a grooming area in the back? And so we've decided to give it a try. And so I am right now there on Sundays and Mondays, and within 3 weeks, it exploded. I've got a fully booked schedule there already. So I'm doing that on Sundays and Mondays, and then the rest of the week I'm booking house call appointments. And so far so good. We've got it very controlled to where I can provide a very calm experience for them. I've been able to successfully groom all but one cat so far that's come in. So I do find that they're a little more keyed up, and I have to work harder to get that cat to calm down and to trust me and to get comfortable with the process so that I can work with them without shedding blood
Yeah.
or getting killed. But that's very, very exciting to have started that. That's not even on my website yet. That's how new it is. We wanted to kind of test the waters and see how that goes. But I do firmly believe in my house call model, because I feel that's where I'm my best as a groomer.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. We love the kitty bodega here at the cat farm. So Angie's awesome.
Anything you want,
I know, it's beautiful
cat
there.
wise, it's just wonderful.
I can't wait to see the new store. We're going to be in town at the end of September, so I'm excited. I've been to the old store, so I'm real
This one
excited
is
to
so much
see it.
easier to get to, the parking access and what have you. And for those people who are not from the Houston area, the Heights area of the Houston Heights area of Houston is both historic and up and coming. I during breaks, I went and drove around the area just to really familiarize myself. And it's just incredible how many renovations and apartment complexes, but they're being true to the area, which is really nice. It's just the area is exploding. I'm maybe someday I might even move to the Heights area. I don't know, if I hit the lottery, I might do
Right?
that.
We
But
all
it's
did
it's really
anybody play? Did
incredible.
you play the lottery? I forget. I always forget. I think it
Was
was
it last
500
night?
million. Yeah. Did
I do
anybody
one
win?
ticket. One ticket. It's all it takes is one ticket to win. And yeah, I have been lately, but I didn't check to see if my ticket won. Was it last night?
I don't know, but my fingers are crossed for you.
Well, thank
You
you.
can't win if you don't play, so I'm out. I'm out of the mix. Well, that's awesome. So you talked a little bit about challenge. You've had one cat that you couldn't groom. So
That's at the
what
bodega. That's
that's
at
at
the
the
bodega.
bodega, yes. So like what are some of the challenges that you run into? Like how do you decide like this is when do you give up, I guess? Like, how
Oh, my.
much effort do you put into grooming before you realize, like, this is just
I
not
just
gonna
can't
work
do
out?
this, cat. Yeah. There's a lot of different levels of giving up, and I don't see that as a failure.
Mhm.
I see giving up as being conscious to the needs of the cat, because and I'll tell the owner the same thing. My number one priority is the cat. Number two is you as the owner. So please don't be upset if I say you need to not be in here. I like it when clients like to watch the groom and they like to be in there. And in most cases, the cats are okay with that. If you were to have an owner come in and watch a groom while a dog is being groomed, oh, no way. That dog is not going to listen to the groomer, and not, the groomer is just going to have a heck of a time with that. So, but it's a little different with cats. I've seen about 50-50. There's been a couple of instances where the cat was quite fractious and I brought the owner in and the cat calmed down. And some instances where the cat was working well and then the owner came in because they wanted to watch some of it and the cat went crazy. So I guess it's about 50-50, where sometimes the cat will calm down if the owner is in there. So the challenges are the cat is 9 times out of 10 scared. And they will react either, in the training, there's different, types of cat behaviors that we're trained to assess. There's shy cats, there's aggressive cats, etc. And usually if a cat is scared, they will shut down, like a baby bird syndrome. If you put a towel over their head and they can't see what's going on, a lot of cats will just become compliant and let you do what you need to do. Then there are cats who get fractious when they feel threatened, and they will swipe, they will bite, etc. Yeah, a cat bite will send me to the hospital. There's no question. You've got to get antibiotics immediately. I've been bitten several times, and several of those times have been my fault. And so as I learn and as my training gets better and better, I realize, don't put your hand right there in the bite zone. Do it this way instead. I have bite gloves. I have a wonderful tool called the air muzzle, which is a round globe type device. And the way the neck opening is shaped, it's impossible to choke a cat. Their trachea is left open, but yet it comes around the head and it's got a little opening in the front. So they can see what's going on, but their peripheral vision is limited. That alone tends to take a lot of fractious cats and just calm them down. A new cat, first groom, always gets the air muzzle. Never trust a cat is the motto of NCGI, and that's true. I've had cats who've been lovely the entire groom. They even lay down in the bathtub and let me scrub their bellies and what have you, and they get blow dried and they have no problem with the high velocity dryer, and they get combed out and all is good in life. And I go to hand the cat to the owner and turns around and bites me. So you have to be on your guard at all times with the cats. We are trained. I am constantly watching eye dilation, checking heart rate, breathing, all of those things, which is another reason why I like to be down on the ground with the cat. I lean over the bathtub. I let the cat walk around. I let the water follow the cat. They're never in rising water. It's always drained so that they feel more comfortable. I put a mat down in the tub so that they're not slipping around. And a lot of cats do much better with that. I don't ever restrain a cat while I'm working with them. Some cats like to be wrapped up tight in a burrito blanket, and then I open up little areas for the blow drying. Some cats are like, don't touch me, I'll go in a corner, blow dry me all you want. You have to learn the cat and respect the cat, and then the cat in turn will trust you because they realize, hey, what you're doing actually feels good and you're not hurting me, so okay, I'll let you do it. If a cat starts panting, I stop the groom. I will either pause the groom and give the cat a chance to, regain their composure, realize everything is okay. If it continues, I stop the groom. Sometimes a groom needs to be broken up into a couple of sessions where we give the cat a break and I come back the next day or the next week and finish things up. But if a cat is going to kill me and there's no way to calm it down, that's when I will recommend a light sedation. Call the vet, see if you can get gabapentin. Only on, they're tearing through the house after each other. Only on the most extreme situations, I think, should a cat need a full sedation groom at the vet. There's been a lot of cats where people say they've been kicked out of grooming salons, or even the vet can't take care of it, that I've been successful with. Not everyone. I'm not perfect. There are cats that I cannot do. And then sometimes the sedation is all it needs, just a light little bit of gabapentin to make them take the edge off the nerves, and then we try again and we could be successful. It depends on the cat.
Yeah, absolutely. As you're speaking and talking about it, like coming from my background in leadership and then, your background in teaching, like that's what kind of pops into my head. Like how much of this behavior, analysis that you're applying to these cats comes from your years of experience working with so many different personalities, right?
When
And
you
like
learn to
being
listen,
able to hone on into that. Sorry, go ahead.
absolutely. When you learn to really listen and observe high school students, which is where my primary focus was, high school and middle school students. But when you really learn to hone in and focus on the individual student and what is best for that student, even though you have to teach masses, still being conscious of the individual needs, I think really sharpened my skills for this. Now it's totally different, what I'm watching in a student versus what I'm watching in a cat, but just that ability to focus in on the needs of the cat, and then having tools and skills built where we'll try this, that doesn't work, let's try this, that doesn't work, let's try this. I think is what's most important.
Trial and error too, right? I
Yes.
think just as an entrepreneur, right, when you start your business, I think we can all relate to that a little bit. You're going to do things and then you're going to learn from it, and you shouldn't be afraid to try things. I know you come from a music background, and that's why you incorporated some salon music, some spa day music into your cat grooming. What was the process like when you were like, okay, I think I'm going to try this? Like, what was going through your mind?
Ooh,
And were you surprised, or did you know it was going to work? Like,
and I guess I'm going to say I knew it was going to work, because I had already been grooming my cats, at a couple of which were very bath resistant, but taking care of them and having family members know that I had that skill, and family members saying, can you come and do my cat and do my cat? And then other people starting to say, come and do my cat. So I kind of grew into it to where the confidence was there already. Maybe a little overconfident is what got me some of my first 2 or 3 hospital visits, where I was, oh, this cat will be fine, never trust a cat. And that's where the training just has been invaluable, because I find myself now so confident. I remember calling Lynn Paolillo, who is with National Cat Groomer Institute, saying, I need to shave a cat. I've got an appointment that a cat needs shaved, and I've never done it before, and I'm petrified. And the way she calmed me down, and she's an incredible business consultant as well, but the way she calmed me down, and this is how you're going to approach this, and now I look back on that going, it's all about the confidence, and the confidence in your training. I knew it was going to work. It was just a matter of to what level. I started another business several years back, so I had that experience as a teacher of high school band. I realized that the brass instruments were always getting damaged, especially on the bells. And I devised, because I also do crafts and sewing and crocheting and knitting and things like that. I can't keep my hands still. And so I devised these covers, and then people started saying, I want those, I want those. And I created a business where I sold those to drum corps and high school band programs, and it got pretty big. So I had that. It got to the point of going to needing manufacturing instead of just doing it as a side hustle at home. Unfortunately, COVID killed that business because education shut down and there wasn't the need, and it all kind of stopped. And instead of going back into it, that's when the cat grooming was starting to emerge. And so I had the skill of knowing how to start a business in Texas and knowing about all the tax things and all of that. So I had that background behind me already. And so I thought, let's give it a try. And if it turns out to be a small side hustle, okay. And if it turns into something bigger, I ended up retiring. Actually, I know 35 years, you say that's time enough, but it was early because half of my career was in Ohio. So I only had so many years in Texas, but my mom got ill and there was no question. I dropped everything and I went up to Ohio and spent the last couple of months with her, which I wouldn't trade for the world. But when all of that settled down, I was left with, I'm not teaching anymore. My Brassets business is gone because of COVID. I'm grooming cats and I'm loving it. And that's when it just kind of all evolved into, let's get this going. And it's taken off beautifully. My decision now is, all right, do we rip the Band-Aid off and really focus on advertising and growing this business? Because to be honest, I've done advertising and I have about 250 clients right now, which is amazing. Most of it is word of mouth, Facebook, Instagram, Kitty Bodega, and things like that. But I haven't spent a penny on advertising yet. So once I do, I guess the I don't know if you can hear him or not, but they get
Just
very
a little
loud when
bit.
they play.
I'm sure it's loud for you, but it's like it mutes some of the background noise a little bit. I just kind of hear them. It sounds like they're scurrying around a little
They are, and they're meowing at each other. And they're having a good old mid-morning play romp.
bit. You need that. You need that. Well, that's fantastic. I am excited that your business is taken off. I mean, it sounds like you're really good at identifying problems and finding solutions to those problems.
That is key. Of course, I would love every client to book me on a 6 to 8 week schedule, which is what is recommended for most cats. There are some short hair cats who can go longer. There are some long hair cats who need to be seen, every month, and especially Persians, Siberians, triple coated. But the teacher in me really wants to teach the owner, what can you do at home to keep your cat in great shape? Giving your cat a bath is going to get rid of the grease. Cats are greasy animals. And when that grease starts to accumulate on a cat's fur, then shedded fur sticks to itself. And then shedding and shedding and sticking. And that's where you get clumps and tangles, which then turn into mats, which get closer to the skin, which become dangerous from a health standpoint and painful to the cat. If a cat is terribly matted or too close to the skin, there is no solution other than shaving and starting over. I try to do everything I can to convince clients not to shave their cats unless it's necessary. Cats were created with full coats, short coats, long coats. That's what was nature intended. So to take that coat off for purely cosmetic reasons, I steer the clients in another direction. If they're taking it off because my cat is shedding all the time, give your cats regular baths and regular combing sessions. That will take care of your shedding problem. My cat gets tangled and gets mats. Get rid of the grease via bathing and comb on a regular basis. That's going to be the solution to your problem. So what I try to do is provide solutions to a problem so that cat owners can just love their cats and not hate what's going on with their coat or what's going on with their home. Are they scratching incessantly? Maybe consider nail caps, which are veterinary created and veterinary approved. Teaching the homeowner, the cat owner, how to clip a cat's nails. Some people are like, oh, hell no, you just come and do it. I'll pay you to come once every 2 weeks and trim my cat's nails. But I try to tell them, watch me do it. Watch how I hold them. Watch what I'm doing, how I use a headlamp so I can see, and how I do this and as fast as possible. The teacher in me will always be there. I want to teach people what products to use at home, what comb. People say, I brush my cat all the time. You need to be combing your cat. A steel greyhound comb. Let's get that.
Yeah.
Right here. And let's get the fur out of it because I just did a quick combing session. These, I've got an $80 fancy grooming comb, and I've got this, which is about $15 on Amazon, and this is the one that I go to. If your cat is long hair, short hair, doesn't matter. This is what you need to be using: short, quick strokes, not long pulls, because if you're pulling and there's resistance, the cat is going to hate you. So short, quick, lifted strokes to get down into the skin and get that dead coat out. And if you get resistance, turn the comb sideways and do a pick at it while you're holding on to it. Loosen it and then bring it out. If you're not using this on your cat every day, even for like a 2 or 3 minute swipe, you're going to have fur all over your house. You're going to have mats and tangles. And even worse, this is going to go in your cat's belly, create hairballs, going to create health problems. Get the fur off of your cat. That's the most important thing. I give clinics, and I'm giving clinics at an upcoming cat show in 2 weeks. There's a CFA cat show in Deer Park, Texas, at the Jimmy Burke Activity Center. And I'm sponsored by Chubb's Bars and National Cat Groomer Institute. They sponsored, they tell me it's okay to use their names is what it is. And the Chubb's Bars, I've got samples for people who want to come to the show.
I have mine. I'm gonna get it.
Oh, she's gonna go get her Chubb's Bars. Okay.
That's right. Let's do it. This one is snow-covered pines.
Oh, wonderful. Those, oh my gosh. I don't know what I did before I found Chubb's Bars. Chubb's Bars were developed by Danelle German, who is the president of the National Cat Groomers Institute. And these are good for cats and dogs, but they're especially good for cats for a lot of reasons. They soap up, lather up very quickly as long as the coat is wet, down to the skin wet. It's not going to work well if you just have the top of the cat wet. It's got to be completely wet. They soap up really fast. They rinse very fast, very clean, which speed is extremely important when you're working with a cat. They get rid of the grease. They leave the coat soft and shiny. I put it in a mesh bag so that when I'm soaping it up, it's also doing some exfoliating. You mentioned allergies before. Really loosening up and getting rid of that dander as much as you can. The allergen is the cat's licking, and the enzyme that's in their saliva goes onto their fur. It dries, it flakes off, and that's the dander we're talking about. And that is what so many people are allergic to. So if you regularly comb and brush, you regularly bathe your cat, you're reducing those allergens to where some allergic people can start to have a higher tolerance of the cat, which is wonderful. The Chubb's Bars, I can't say enough about them. I love them. I love them. Danelle was kind enough to send me a bunch of samples. I'll have those at the show. But I give a little clinic. It's about 20 minutes, half an hour long. I'll have 1 or 2 of my babies there as demo kitties, and it's entitled At Home Cat Grooming Tips. I show people what I use. I show people how to trim nails. I show people holds. I show them the green e-collar that they can get. If you're really worried about your cat turning around and taking a bite for lunch while you're trimming their nails, get this simple e-collar for about $10, and you can eliminate some of those problems. Ear cleaning, eye cleaning, how to keep the coat in good condition in between grooms. And for people who really want to learn how, I know that this is not good business, but for me it is, because it's the teacher in me. If somebody really wants to learn how to properly groom their cat at home, I will show them. I will teach them. I will work with them. A couple of clients have done that, where they had me come out 3 or 4 times, and they were involved in the groom the whole time. Now, this is not somebody who's going to go out and create a business grooming cats. This is somebody who wants to learn how to take care of their baby at home. And so I'm all about that and teaching them how to do that.
I think that's fantastic. The education part that you do is, to me, one of the most valuable parts of the job, and that you're willing to share that information and educate people so that they're better pet owners, that we understand cats better. Like there's
Right.
just so much to that I think is really amazing. So I appreciate it, Lynda. I really do. I was amazed when we were at our event together last time, like listening to you talk to people. It was very, I learned so much. And again, I'm not maybe using what I learned yet, but I was very impressed, ma'am.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, what have you learned, or what can people do, our listeners, in terms of learning more about cat behavior and how to identify like when their cats need, more grooming or need more attention? I assume because you're working with so many different cats all the time, you've got a little bit of understanding on how to recognize things from cats' behaviors. And
Absolutely. Well, if it's your own cat, you start to learn their quirks very, very quickly. If you are petting your cat, your cat comes to you. We all know that cats make those decisions about when they want that interaction. Head bumps, pawing at you, yeah, they want that attention. If you are, oh, my cat is laying there, I'm going to go pet the cat, watch the tail. That's your telltale sign. If the tail is just being nice and calm, that's a welcoming sign. If they start whapping the tip of their tail around, they're getting ticked off, and they're tolerating you. But you can be pretty sure that if you keep that up at that point, it's going to turn into a whap or a bite. Dogs, no matter what, come here, they're going to want that attention. But cats decide when it's okay and when it's not okay. So me coming into a house, if that cat's wanting it or not, I need to create an interaction with that cat. So really watching those signs, if a cat is aggressive or not, but trying to just calm the cat. There is a spot right here on the cat that if you were to take two fingers and rub between the eyes but above the eye line and just gently do that, a lot of cats will calm down from that. If you put your finger to them and they do this to you, go with it. Go ahead and scratch those areas. Cats have their scent glands right here. So at very first, I know it's dangerous because they could bite, but I try to get that cat scent on me as quick as possible. So I will pet that cat right around this area, and then I will do this as much
mm,
as I can. The sooner I can create that interaction. That works at home as well. If you give those signs to a cat, they're going to be more apt to come at you and say, I want attention from you, rather than um, ears back, tail flipping, don't bother. But if the cat is, turns upside down and shows you the belly, be cautious, but go ahead and because that's often a trap, by the way.
yes, yes, it
But
is.
go ahead and give that belly a little rub, but get your hand out of the way as quick as possible.
Yeah, very, very quickly to test it out. Oh, and then as far as grooming is concerned, like where do you see the evolution of the field going? I know that there's still a significant amount of education that pet owners need to have, but like, are you seeing new trends? Like, are you seeing new products being developed? Like, what's the trajectory?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's more and more people, and I hear it on a daily basis. I didn't know my cat needed to be groomed. I didn't realize my cat needed to be groomed. I have a short hair cat, but it's shedding more than a long hair cat, which, by the way, is true. Short hair cats shed more. It's just you've got a lot of shorter hairs all over the house instead of the tumbleweeds from the long hair cats. I didn't know that I needed to comb my cat. I didn't know I needed to do this. So that right there tells you that there's been more and more media coverage and more marketing and advertising towards um, taking care of your cats. I mean, the pet care industry is so enormous, and COVID really ballooned it. People are at home. The adoption rate for animals just exploded. We're hoping that stays, and it didn't create a bubble that burst. But there really had been a huge increase. Mobile groomers just in this Houston area are popping up left and right. And highly successful businesses are being created. So the mobile industry has also exploded as well as people got more and more used to the convenience of having things done at home. So many more people are still working from home. So being a house call groomer is actually easier because more people are home during the day, where they can accommodate you coming into their home or you bringing an animal out to the car. In regards to cats, like I mentioned, the Chubbs bars, those have been around for a while, but here's a mainstream improvement and a market trend is that Chris Christensen, which is a very popular, highly respected grooming products manufacturer, just came out with a new line called the Top Cat line that is specifically for cats. Less of the perfumes, because we know cats react to smells very strongly, and at pH balanced properly for cats. These are designed for cats, and a whole line. I've tested out the line. So far, everything I've used, I've loved, and a couple of my processes, like my clarifying shampoo that I use, I've switched over to that. There's their degreaser I love very much. I'm still a big F&T user, for those of you who are groomers and know what I'm talking about, because we deal with grease on cats so much more than on dogs. That's a big part of the cat grooming line, is what kind of degreaser are you using. So Chris Christensen coming out with that. You go on Amazon and you see all of these, some of them silly as all get out. Hammocks, hang your cat up so that you can trim their nails. Oh my God, I want a video of somebody trying to do that. It
There's
doesn't
maybe
work.
that one cat out there that works for. That's the video you're gonna find. Just the one,
Just the
though, right?
one cat, yeah. But I can guarantee you, if you're brave enough to put your cat in a hammock and hang them up, God bless you.
I have only had one cat my entire life that let me cut his nails. The other ones, well, I shouldn't say that. I had to do like the little like cover the eyes to clip the other cat's nails. But this one, like he would put his hand out. It was just so funny, and like he would just like flex it and everything, and he just
You know,
let me trim them.
the best thing you can do is, starting when they're kittens and you've got cuddle time with them, play with their toes. Gently play in between their toes. My cats all do it now. I'll put my finger up there and they spread their toes. And we do little toe massages, because they know that that's a feel good experience for them. And that way, I mean, there's nothing worse than a cat that won't let you touch his paws. I mean, that's a battle royale trying to get those nails done. So start them when they're young, teach them that that's a good thing to handle their paws, and make sure that you reward them with treats. Cats are very treat motivated, and you think they would be just dogs, but cats, yeah, very treat motivated. So the products that are out there, you'll see these fishbowl things that you put over the cat's head to do their nails. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not going to suffocate my cat, even though there's these little holes in there. No, the air muzzle and the e-collar are the ways to go on that. I've even seen, and I bought them just because it was hysterical. They're these little rubber booties that you put on cats' paws and then you Velcro them tight. So that you can bathe your cat without him ripping. Oh my gosh, it's hysterical. And I got a video somewhere. I tried putting him on Mio. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Shaking
It
like
didn't
this,
happen.
right? The whole time.
Exactly. He's like, get this off, get this off. I think one or two shakes and it just went flying across the room. But
Oh my gosh, that's a good video for the
yeah,
internet, for sure.
more and more people are understanding that as much as you can do at home to care for your pet, the happier your pet, the healthier your pet. And so if we look on Amazon and things like that, and you're starting to see more and more products and advertisements for pet care, that, to me, that's a good thing. But we've got to make sure that people are educated, or so that they're not doing the wrong thing. Please, if you are a cat owner, your cat has a mat, don't go anywhere near your cat with scissors or clippers unless you're trained, but never ever scissors. And the reason is, and I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but cat skin is not attached to muscle. Basically, they're wearing a big old skin suit. You could pull their skin up. If you were to even make the tiniest little nick in their skin, and then it were to stretch,
Mm.
it's going to tear. And I've seen cats with like 7 staples in their hip because the owner clipped a mat but it was just a little tear. And then the cat ran and mm.
Mm.
Please call a professional, but please don't ever go near your cat with scissors. It's just too dangerous. So be educated.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very good advice. Because I think a lot of people want to defer to that, right? Because it's one cheaper, right? And you want to get things done swiftly. But there's so much risk involved with doing it like that. When you're not trained on, how to care for your cat properly. This is probably one of the reasons why I never bathed my cat. It's like I know I'm not doing this right. They're not going to like it at all. I'm sure my stress level is high, which is making their stress level high.
Right. It's just
So,
got to be very zen about it.
maybe one day I'll be zen, maybe. So, any final words for our listeners? Any last comments, tips that you'd like to?
Just like we just talked about, yes, your cat needs a bath. Um, and we're here. We're few and far between, but we are here. Hopefully the word gets out, more and more people start to embark on the training to properly handle cats. But there really is so much available online. I've mentioned her 3 times now, and I hope she's okay with it. But Lynn Paolillo has a TikTok account where she does cat grooming videos, and she shows people the process from start to finish. You can learn a lot from that. Whitney Bullock is another one. She's on Instagram, and not only does she have great advice and great short videos on do this, don't do that, but she's got some quick wit as well. I love watching her videos. She owns a cat salon in Charleston, South Carolina, I believe. She is tremendous. I enjoy her videos immensely. And I was going to say sometimes bordering on inappropriate, but that's what gets people nowadays.
That's what I'm here for all the time.
Maybe I shouldn't say inappropriate. She pushes the envelope and she's hysterical about it. I just love watching her videos, and I hope to meet her someday as well. But
There's
there's
stuff
so
out
much
there.
education out
Mhm.
there that if you were to just Google cat grooming, be careful, you might catch some not so good things. So take everything with a grain of salt. Really well-trained cat groomers you'll find will have very large followings on their social media as well. And just do what you can to get the best advice out there if there's not a cat groomer near you, to keep your cat in great shape. And this
Yeah.
is
There
going to
you
save you a lot of trouble. Just get your cat used to it, turn it into an enjoyable experience with treats and what have you, and you'll save yourself a lot of headaches, a lot of fur balls around your house, and maybe some vet bills too.
Excellent. I might have to put that comb in the link so that people know where to find it. So
Will do.
thank you, Linda, for joining me today. It has been a pleasure. As always, I've learned so much and I enjoy our conversation. So
I do
cheers.
too. And I look forward to seeing you and
Yeah.
everybody at the Deer Park show coming up.
Yay,
And
dear part.
live, love, meow.
Love me out. Mine says Elgato today. I'm
Yay.
in a Halloween mood already, so I know I'm a little early. But